Hey, I don't have my microphone. I hope you can still hear me okay. I don't know if I'm going to post this. It's maybe just for me. Yeah, I think a lot of my tears are related to not having love in my life as well. And I just enjoyed another Ted Lasso show, and, there's a lot of touching moments with characters and way too much bad language, though, which is not required for the comedy that I enjoy. But Uh, I find, and I've known this and I've had these thoughts a few times, and for me, they don't seem abnormal or strange. But at this point, I think I live only for the possibility of finding love again. I I'm not suicidal, but I'm really not interested in never finishing, I don't know, maybe another 30 years of my life with not having love and just watching, observing things that I have easily predicted would happen, and many others as well, when it comes to, social, political unrest, climate catastrophe, all the things that are going to come with our species' failures up here, and how we will become more and more inhuman with each other as life on this planet becomes harder for many because of our actions, which we still don't take responsibility for. This is not at all something that I seek to stay on Earth alive to keep witnessing without some sort of companionship of romance. And I know many of you guys are like this too. Like, you go through a lot of the motions of doing things like jobs you don't necessarily like, or, going to restaurants out of momentum and not always being satisfied with the food, or hanging out with people that don't leave you feeling heard or satisfied, or you don't know how to talk to them about things that upset you, or whatever it is. You're not really happy all the time, and that includes people in romantic relationships. And sometimes people in romantic relationships kind of still dream of love with somebody else through some sort of miracle happening. And I think the only thing, if not love, that for me would be interesting to stay alive for is if something totally unexpected happens, like, extraterrestrials arrive or something like that. A lot more likely than God scenarios. But still, it's not a gamble of waiting to see if it's going to happen. For me, again, even though I may soon be able to be of service a little bit more, while I have health and intelligence, and more or less in the ways that are worthy of me and who I am and what my skill sets are and my specialties, is still, it's still gonna be, experiencing not just loneliness, but a sense of being alone, and just being sad that because of who I chose to be and will not compromise for the sake of, more social connections, possibly romantic, but to have devolved myself in order to increase those stats of it happening, those probabilities, I'm not going to do that. So I know that the sensation of being alone is going to stay with me a long time, and until I possibly get a terminal diagnosis, and in the meantime, I tell you, it's I'd rather not. I'd rather not keep seeing the patterns that are easily predicted manifest themselves in the news or in my surroundings. There's no satisfaction at all from that, and there would be not enough satisfaction for the hardships of living among the people primates, continuing as automatons to crash the system. To be a witness to that. There's not enough if I'm just able to be of assistance here and there, and still nobody that is a life partner, or any children come into my life from either a relationship or adoption or whatever, that makes it that, that it's worth me being enthusiastic about the future, because there's a great responsibility that I take seriously to, be the best I can be for a young generation person, to be prepared for their lifetime events. Without that, either as one of my specialties in employment, or by just having young people to work with, where I'd be able to help them with the types of intelligence they require, the types of human thinking tools they require to be at their best, or to be able to cope with the hardships better than the norm. It's without having that responsibility on me, it's still unlikely I'll have love, and therefore unlikely I'll change my mind about just wanting to be the person that observes things that were not at all hard to predict were going to keep happening.